Now y'all gonna be paying $112 an hour, and I'm gonna laugh at you, you ignorant fucks. Hey, what's up? I'm here with my 2003 Trailblazer. Might have to use your imagination a little bit here. My headlights are out right now, being modified. For the front lights in the Trailblazer, you got your little corner, 194 that sits up here, and then down here you have your other parking light and also turn signal right here. And what we want to do is convert these over to LEDs. So it should be pretty easy, right? I mean, all we should have to do is just pop out this little halogen 194, plug in our 194 LED. Same with the turn signal bulb. Oh, who put this in here? Ow. Should be pretty cool, right? Uh-oh, what happened? Maybe I plugged this in the wrong way. Maybe like this? Maybe I plugged him in the wrong way too. Yes, let's make sure the turn signals work.
So normally in these trucks, if you replace one of the turn signals with a LED, the turn signals are going to flash really fast, even though the LED will still work. Now, since I did that modification that gave me quad brake lights, I actually have, two bulbs in the back, regular halogen bulbs in the back. So by adding the LEDs up front here, I didn't get the hyperflash. If you were to do this, like I said, with a regular Trailblazer that's not modified, you would have the hyperflash, and that's where you would put in the load resistors that I'm about to put in. My reason for putting in the load resistors is a little bit different. Watch what happens.
And this is what I got. I just got the left arrow stays on.
So for whatever reason, it seems that whenever the parking lights are on, it's backfeeding through the turn signal circuit, which is lighting up the turn signal LEDs that I have in my modified cluster. So as long as the parking lights were on, I would be seeing the indicators on, and that shit's not going to happen. So really what we've got here is we're doing a unconventional fix to an unconventional problem. So we're going to use the load resistors to get the indicators to turn off when only the parking lights are on. Get this thing back to looking like normal, you know what I mean?
These are the load resistors I went with. I believe I got these from eBay a while back. If I can find a link to these exact ones, I'll throw it up in the description. I made the leads long enough that I can definitely get them down to that turn signal socket. Now for either of these front park lights, whether it's this side or the other side, the colors are going to be pretty much the same. The light blue wire is your turn signal wire. The brown wire, which in this one is the middle, is your parking light wire, and your black's the ground. Some people will use those crappy taps, and I'm not doing that. You do not have to solder these like I'm doing. Couple zip ties to keep everything kind of in order. I'd say we're in pretty good shape. I was able to get a drill through this hole and then boom, just like that. Then you can see the harness, it kind of comes up there, and I just tied it together with this parking light and then just ran it down around and just tied it into the wiring. That way My Trailblazer's already a little bit busy with wires under here, so I wanted to keep it a little bit clean. And that was pretty much it. Well, moment of truth, I guess. Well, it looks like everything is working like it should, and that's pretty cool. Wow, I'm totally unprepared on how to end this because this is not what I intended to get into today. I totally did not expect the driver's side not to have hyperflash. Now, I don't know if it's because I've got the dual turn signals in the rear and that additional bulb back there is putting a load on there in place of the resistor. But the bottom line would have been I would have had to use the resistor anyway, or else I would have get the back feed up to the little indicator on the cluster. So it kind of worked. So I don't think it's going to be right to label this how to fix hyperflash on the Trailblazer because we didn't actually have hyperflash to begin with. So really, I guess it's going to be best to say, turn indicators stay lit after LED bulb install, something like that. Coming up next, I don't know if we're going to do the headlights next or what, but we're going to keep hitting at it and keep giving you guys what you want. So thanks for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe to my shit. What's happening? Well, it's been a minute. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff's been going on in life or whatever. And now's a great time to talk about it. So after doing my own thing for a few revolutions around the sun, you know what I'm saying? I decided that working for myself is not something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. It might sound crazy or whatever, since it's kind of been something I've wanted to do for a real long time, but it's just not for me. There's really two big reasons for me doing this. You know what I mean? The first reason is because the amount of money I made for the amount of time that I spent there, it just didn't add up. You know what I'm saying? If you took, a dollar amount and divided it by how many hours of my life did I have to give up to get that, you know what I mean? It didn't work out in the end. For a while I had to start just documenting what I did all day, to keep track of where all of my time's going. You know what I mean? What I figured was pretty much 40% of my time there was actually in the shop. That means for like a 10-hour day, there was only 4 hours in the shop that I could bill for, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the stuff behind the scenes that goes on in an auto repair place, you don't really make money off of, so talking on the phone, arguing with customers, looking up parts, getting estimates, dealing with people, all that stuff, I mean, it just took a lot of time out of the day, you know what I'm saying? To make up for that, a lot of times I had to go back at night and actually work to actually, put in billable hours, you know what I mean? And like I said, when you took the amount of time it took to make X amount of money, it's a lot of time to make that money, you know what I'm saying? If you really break it down to dollars per hour, it wasn't worth it, you know what I'm saying? The other contributing factor is people are just stupid, you know what I'm saying? I could tell somebody the same thing 5 times and they can repeat it back to me 5 different ways that have nothing to do with what I just said. Or take, for example, I order parts online, there's a delay in shipping, and people are pissed off at me. It's like, I'm not FedEx. I'm the wrong guy to get pissed off at, you know what I'm saying? The reason for buying the thing online was to save $100. A lot of people, they think that everything's fast and easy. Maybe they just been, influenced by YouTube videos. You know what I mean? But say for example, the book time on a job called for an hour and a half, labor to do the job. And you feel that you can do it in 45 minutes. You could tell me that you think I should be able to do it in 45 minutes, but I'm not. A lot of people are like, God forbid if you make money on parts, you know what I'm saying? So they'd rather go out and get them parts themselves. So a lot of times to diagnose a car, this is what it needs, this is how much it'll cost, and it's like, oh, I can get it cheaper at AutoZone. And then they come back and they give you like the wrong cam sensor or the wrong brake pads, or they bring you drums and shoes when your car has disc brakes. So fuck all that. What I ended up doing, I went and re-upped some ASD certifications and went looking for a job. And they didn't really want to pay any money. So it's like, so a dealership wants you to... I'm recording something! Fucking toddlers, I tell you. Forget where I was in my story. So one dealership, they didn't fix engines or transmissions. So it's like, what would you do in a dealership like that all day? You know, replace windshield wipers and brakes all day? It'd be kind of boring. So after a couple weeks of searching for something, weeks, being cooped up and shit, you know what I mean? I did something that I never thought I'd ever do. I applied at a franchise. Now, if you guys remember a couple months ago, I talked about my personal experiences working with different types of service departments, and I did not like franchises at all. And in case you didn't see it, basically the gist of it was the guys at two different national brand franchises told me that basically what they do, they send out a coupon for a 1995 oil change. The people bring their car in. You're, meaning me, I'm going to change the oil in that car for free, and based on what I sell during that oil change is what I'll get paid. Now you can imagine there's a lot of people out there that they're going to come in there with a $20 bill in their pocket and that's it. I'm not working on people's cars for free. And that was with two completely different, you know what I'm saying, franchises. Well, maybe the third one's the charm, because I found something that was beyond my wildest expectations. My opinions about franchises have changed, and I think what it all comes down to is the owner of said franchise. I'm not going to tell you where I work because, you know, you motherfuckers are crazy to be calling me at work and shit, but I work at a really tight spot. The place that I'm at now is well thought out, and it's a very well equipped facility, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of new. They've got shit that I've never seen before. You know, for stuff like the services, yeah, there's a 32-point checklist, but it's not high pressure sales. If it was high pressure sales, I wouldn't be saying any of this right now. But, you know, it's non-competitive. The mechanics don't compete with each other. The service writers don't compete with each other. You know what I mean? It's pretty chill. And as a result, they're busy as fuck. Even in the middle of January, when, you know, the state of Delaware is just at a standstill, you know what I mean? You know, now that I've done my own thing and doing all aspects, like basically every job at a repair shop, you know, I was doing it all. You know, I have a respect for like everybody that works, you know what I mean? Well, particularly at my place now, I have a respect for the, you know, the service desk personnel and other technicians and, you know, everybody that's involved with making the operation run. Because really, I guess when it's all said and done, it is a team effort, you know what I mean? The end result being just to get everybody in, get them fixed, and get them out with no bullshit, you know what I'm saying? I guess when it's all said and done, my life is back to where it's been, you know, right around 2012 or something like that. Basically leave the house at 7, come home at 6, 5 days a week. Except now I make considerably more money than I did for the last place I worked at, who happens to be the competition. But that only gives me like 2 days a week to like do anything else. So the footage you just saw today was actually recorded in 2014. I still got a lot of videos that, you know, I filmed but just didn't have time to go through and edit. And I'm starting to go back through that now. So just hang in there. You know what I mean? I wish I could, you know, put more stuff out there, but you gotta give me more days in the week and more hours in the day. You know what I mean? So I really don't know how to end this, so I'll end this by saying pictures of pepperoni pizza.